Today we're going to talk about something super important, and that is blogging. If you're a wedding photographer, this is something that you need to be doing in your business, and if you're not doing it, you might be wondering why you're not getting as many clients or getting as much business as you'd like. And that was the biggest thing, the biggest factor that really boosted our business, was really being consistent on our blog.
If you haven't met us before, my name is Luke and this is Bethany, and we're wedding photographers and videographers from Ottawa. Our passion, what we really love doing, is teaching other people by using our experience, the things we've learned, the tools that we use to make sure that you can use them in an effective way to grow your business.
Yeah, we're graduates from the School of YouTube just like you, and we know how invaluable these lessons are. So make sure that you are subscribing to our channel, because we release videos like this every single week. And you're going to want to give it a like, because this is going to be a good one. And this is one of those moments where we wish we had started doing this from the very beginning, because this is a game changer in our business.
They always say that you need to start it earlier, and blogging is definitely one of those things where it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be super meticulously well done with details, it just has to start, at least for wedding photographers, because it's a good place to kind of shed a little bit of information on a session, because there is some text, and then you can also import all of your pictures, the gallery, into that blog as well.
Blogging is one of those things as well where you know that you have to do it, but because you don't feel like an expert at it, you just don't do it. It's one of those things that gets put on the list, but it always gets left.
That's right, it's just a
cycle.
cycle.
Like keeps coming back on the list, but it gets put at the bottom. So we want to help you take those next steps, because there are benefits to blogging. You just need to know how to do it in a way that's easy for you, and we're going to walk you through how we do it each and every time that we create a blog. So we want to talk to you a little bit about our journey. So when we first started blogging, we had no idea what we were doing. Let's just put it out there. We had no idea what a blog even meant. We didn't know why you had to do it. We just heard that you need to be blogging in your business if you want to be successful. And we would see all these other people write these amazing blogs, and we thought there was no way that we would be able to do them. And I wouldn't even say that our blogs today are the most amazing things ever. I just want you to know that straight out the gate. And I do not pretend that I am an amazing writer. But what I do know is that there are amazing tools out there that we've been able to utilize that have been so amazing for us when it comes to blogging, and we wanted to be able to share them with you. Before we get started, I want to let you know that we actually host our blog on a site called WordPress. It's actually through Showit, so our website is hosted on Showit, and we actually host our blog through WordPress. So we create all of our blogs in that website, I guess that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And through there, we actually use a program called Yoast. And this program you can actually do a free version, which is pretty good on its own, but we actually paid for it for a year just to see the difference of it. And to be honest with you, it was probably a good idea at the beginning, because it really does help you figure out how to blog effectively using all of the tools and tricks that they provide. However, now that I kind of know all of them, I don't actually need that pro version anymore, because I found that it was just, it's just like a waste of money at this point. So, full disclosure, I did pay for it for a year, but we don't pay for it anymore. So,
yeah, the program is really like an autocorrect, but for a lot of different factors in a blog. So making sure your keywords are good, making sure that there's, you set a profile picture for it. All these little check boxes, it just checks all of that for you and just tells you where you might be missing some information. So like Bethany said, once you really get used to and you get into a rhythm of blogging, it may not be as useful, but it's always good to have. They have the free version, which is really good to just keep you on your toes, make sure you don't miss anything.
Yeah, so first steps would be to figure out what blogging platform you're using, but for us, we do recommend WordPress.
And why do we recommend WordPress? Because it's one of the best SEO friendly website, so search engine optimization, which means that Google really loves the format that WordPress does and will rank it higher on its website searches.
The beauty thing about us being photographers is that we have no lack of content. I mean, if you feel like you don't have enough to blog, then you probably just need to go out and shoot more. So before you watch this video, make sure you go out and shoot a session, because you need to have some good photos to add to your blog. Now, we use blogging for two very different purposes. One, answer questions. Two, to get more clients.
True.
Pretty easy, right?
And those can go hand in hand as well. You know, it could be really value driven, or it can also show a client session. Those are the kind of big major parts of why we blog.
Yeah. So the first one being that we do it to essentially answer questions. And that one has been because we get the same ones over and over and over again. And if you've been doing this for a while, you know that we always get the same ones. How do I prepare for my session? What location can we do our engagement session at? What are your favorite vendors that you use? There's so many different questions that we get asked, probably on the daily, that this has been a way for us to just put it all in one area and then direct our clients to it. So, hey, you know, we keep them updated, we add things, we change things, but at least that content is there and we can just send them to that website. And the best part about that is the more people that are looking at it, the more Google thinks that this is an important website that they need to be telling people about. So whenever someone searches, hey, I'm looking for the best engagement locations in Ottawa,
boom,
there we are. And that's really what the benefit of using it sort of, you know, to answer questions, but it also kind of subhazzardly also finds its clients. So those have been really one of the main reasons why we do it that way.
Yeah, and the most recent one that we get asked quite a bit now is COVID regulations. What do we do personally to reduce the risk of COVID infection, COVID spreading, all of that within our studio? We send that one for sure to anyone that is going to be working with us, and it's been a really good addition as one of those questions that we can anticipate and be able to send them, you know, a link to our blog which answers all the questions.
Yeah, it just saves us a lot of time, a lot of back and forth, and also too that we don't miss anything. The last thing we want to do is not give them as much information as we can. So we've sat down, really thought about it, and written it all up, and it's all there for them to read. And it's in our own language, right? Like, it sounds like us, it feels like us, and that's really what's most important, is you can do all of that within a blog. Now, the second reason that we use blogs in our business is to find clients. And this one is kind of a long game. So we always say that this one is for the long game, but you'd be surprised how quick sometimes that long game can pay off. So in our case, we actually use it to get new clients by posting our most recent weddings or engagement sessions. So what we do is we tell our clients, hey, we're going to post a sneak peek on Instagram, but we're also going to post the rest of them on our blog. And then we ask our clients to share that blog before we actually release all of the final images to them. And the beauty thing about that is we have people that come up to us at the wedding and we'll be like, oh my goodness, are you the people who did the engagement photos? And we'll be like, yeah. Your stuff is amazing. We cannot wait to see the photos from the wedding because it was so amazing.
That's true.
So making sure that you are doing that has been a game changer for us, and we try and get that blog out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's such a good tool to use to get people to drive traffic to your website as well. So like Bethany mentioned before, the more traffic a website sees, the better Google will like it. It will say, wow, this one must be giving a lot of value to all these different people. The amount of time that they're spending on the website is a lot as well. So it really just kind of perpetuates that the more value you give, the more you receive. So you're really using it as like a marketing tool at the same time.
Yeah, and imagine all those people that share it on Facebook or share it to all these things, and then they get memories of that every year, right? It's just an amazing tool. If you're not using it, you need to be using it for sure. We didn't touch really on our journey about our blog, but let me just put it to you straight. We kind of started with very little. We basically put like 5 photos on a blog and wrote like, this was a fun session. Email us to book, you know, your session. That was it. It was awful. It really probably didn't do anything for us, but it was a start. Now, we do not recommend that you do that, but if that's all you can do, at least you know that you can go back. So one of the things that we've been starting to do lately is going back and actually updating some of these super outdated blogs and adding a little more context to them. So not only does that just sort of make them really fresh, if anyone happens to stumble upon them, then at least we know that they're looking more on brand and definitely still adding value, which is really what we have created these blogs for in the first place.
Yeah, and updating a blog can also mean you could have some fun with this, especially on the off season, is go back to those old photos and you can re-edit them. We found that our style has changed quite a bit over the years, and it's just fun to see kind of where you started, where you are now, and play around with the photos that you took before, make it more your style, and then kind of even repost it, or you can even post about how you took old photos and change them, right?
Yeah, and just like do a little before and after if you want to. But yeah, we've done that and that's been amazing for us. One of the beautiful things as well about blogging is it adds a whole bunch of keywords to your website. Now, you've probably heard this term thrown around like, you know, at every little networking event that you've been to, that keywords are key. No pun intended. But essentially, you need to be putting these keywords on your blog. So this has been huge for us and making sure that we do this with each and every blog. Now, I already told you about my little secret, which is Yoast, and it will tell you need to add keywords to your images or onto your blog. However, what we found has been really amazing, and this is going like that one step further. So if you're like brand new to blogging and you're like, Bethany, this is so complicated already, like how am I ever gonna do this? I promise you, if you start doing them regularly, it's going to pay off. But if you really want to take things to that next level, you actually want to be taking these images and posting them on Pinterest. Now, when you go to update those keywords on your blog, you can add in a whole bunch of things. And if you want inspiration, where do you go? Go check out Pinterest.
That's true.
You can see what they wrote. You can see, okay, they wrote like beautiful engagement location, or beautiful engagement posing ideas, neutral colors, or whatever it is that the photo represents. And you can actually write that in the keywords and then go to your blog. Now, this is like next level stuff, but go to your blog and you can actually pin those images directly to Pinterest from your blog. And what that means is essentially that image now goes to Pinterest for you and acts as a pin, and it's directly linked by that link to your website. So essentially, if someone on Pinterest sees that photo, puts it in there like, this is the type of photo that I want on my wedding day, it'll actually link them back to the full gallery that you just posted, so they can see a whole bunch more in there as well. So if you create a whole bunch of tips, or if you give outfit suggestions or posing ideas, all of that will be there, and you're also driving more traffic to your website, which is really good.
Which is the key. That's the whole point of blogging, is you want other ways that people can find the information, not only to answer questions and you send the links directly to your clients, but it's organically getting other people to find your website. So sometimes it's even better than Google. You know, you want to put it on Pinterest so that it links back, and people already are searching for that specific thing, right? Like the posing or the guide for what to wear or whatever it is, and it goes right back to your website, and voila, somebody now knows you exist.
We hope that all these tips have been amazing for you, and if you have any more questions about blogging, I hope that you'll reach out. Put a comment below. We're happy to answer them, because blogging really is something that you should be doing in your business.
Yeah.
And if you're like, no, I don't want to do it, I just like don't understand, promise me that you will at least find somebody who knows what they're doing when it comes to blogging and commit to doing at least one blog per month. I think that you will start to see those results, especially if you track everything on Google. You'll see that Pinterest starts to become that #1 traffic source. And think about it. If that bride is looking for, photos of that venue that you really love shooting at, and your pictures are scoured all over Pinterest, I'm pretty sure she's going to be reaching out to you to book you. So, just a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge that it's worth it.
Yeah, actually blogs are a really great way, if you collaborate with other people, that you can get your website linked on their website and vice versa. So it's a really good collaborative tool that you guys can use to all make sure that your website links exist somewhere else. And again, it's all about that having another point of contact that somebody can trace back to your website.
Once again, thank you so much for listening to us go on all about business and wedding photography and videography.
We just love it so much.
We do. We really love it. We could talk about this stuff all day. Don't forget, if you love this video, make sure that you subscribe, because we do release these videos every single week. And we're here to help you. We're giving back to that School of YouTube. You know, we're the graduates of School of YouTube. We still use it in our business every day if we have questions about things. So thank you for being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.